Processing information. We all know we have it. If we have it. If we don't have it, we don't know we don't have it. What is it? Common sense, of course. It's one of those things that's very hard to explain. Well, let's try to go over a real life example. I received a slip in the mailbox saying I had a package, but I needed to sign for it. Given the mailbox is downstairs in the garage of the condo complex, it's basically impossible for me to sign for it. And the mailman didn't come back to attempt to redeliver because, well, there's no door to knock on, so he's still not going to get a signature downstairs in the basement. So what do I do now? Luckily, they list the steps of what you can do. Think about these as options for what you can do, the steps 1 through 5, going through them one by one and eliminating the ones that don't work. Number 2, I can't do, as this is not an option for adult signature items, because apparently international parcels require an adult signature. Number 4 is a moot point, because I don't have anyone to send to the post office for me, and if I did, I would still go myself. So that leaves number 1, number 2, no, number 3, yes, number 4, no, and number 5, 3 options. So I didn't bother contacting the USPS by phone. Why? Well, 2 reasons. One is that the post office is not open on the weekends. They're government employees, so I don't presume there's anybody working behind the scenes on a weekend either on the phone tree. Secondly, and more importantly, I've called them before and was never actually able to get to a person. So that leaves number 1 and number 3. I first try what's easiest. Going online, that's simple. I type in a URL, go to the website, fill in my information, and it popped up as not found or gave me some error message. Couldn't find a barcode number. Oh well, I tried. So that leaves only one option left. Number 3, go to your local post office. And I plan on doing it Monday, the next day anyways. Except I knew my local post office and it wasn't in Esparto, because I've never heard of Esparto, California in my life. A quick Google search reveals that this is not anywhere near where I am. Obviously, there's a mistake here. Why do I say obviously? Because if the package really is in Esparto, the fact that the mailman was able to put a slip note in my mailbox means he probably didn't come from Esparto. Because the people who deliver the mail to you are local. They go around neighborhoods within the span of a few miles, maybe 10 at max. They're not the ones driving big USPS trucks on the freeway, so the package must be nearby. But which post office should I go to? There are quite a few nearby. I'll just go to the literal closest one. We could always start there. So I went there, waited in a short line, which was even shorter because the lady in front of me was gracious enough to let me go before her. She said, "Oh, I might take a while." And the man told me to check at this other location. And when I asked about Esparto, he said, "Oh yeah, the mailman must have been transferred." So off I went to the other location. The final step, the final stop. Hopefully, this old post office is a much bigger one, and it makes sense, right, that my package would be here rather than my local one, which is tiny. Line here was much longer though, and I waited 20 minutes before getting to the front. I gave my slip to the lady, she went off searching for package, and finally came back with it. And I got it! The chips my friends from Taiwan found for me. They sent me all these weird flavors they found. I've only eaten the syrup one so far, but man, is it delicious. I didn't know sweet and salty was such a good combination for chips. So let's recap what we learned today about common sense that you too, when you get a package you need to get and not sure where to get it, how to get it. Maybe it contains something boring but essential like toilet paper, or something exciting like maple syrup flavored chips. Let's show you how you could get it too. You could use this common sense pathway for figuring out a problem. First, you go through all the options, eliminating ones that don't work. How can you tell something doesn't work? Well, one way is that you try it and it fails, like what happened when I tried a USPS website. Another way is that it is actually stated there that it doesn't work. If you read a fine print under option 2, we could have them redeliver and just leave the item, it explicitly states not for adult signature items, which this is. And number 3, it contradicts information you know. I didn't call USPS because I've tried before and never could get through to a person. From personal experience and knowledge of their phone capabilities, I know it's bound to be a failure. How do you determine which of the rest of the options you try? Well, I start with the easiest ones first. Trying online is easier than going to the post office, so I try that. And post offices, yeah, there's many of them, but I just go to the nearest one because it's easier. I know I may have to go to another one later, but why not start with the easiest? This isn't the only way, obviously, to go through your options, but it's the easiest. And lastly, when you encounter something different, something weird, something that doesn't make sense, Do some investigation, get some research. This is where Googling it may be helpful. Before presuming it is correct. Esparto is where the post office is? My nearest post office? I don't think so. And after I looked it up and found Esparto is 100 miles away, I'm absolutely sure that it's not there. This is actually the hardest part, because what is strange to one person may not be strange to another. This is where this definition of common sense becomes circular, because it takes common sense to realize something doesn't actually make sense. But sorry, if by now you don't have any common sense, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to figure out how to get you common sense.